Hi folks. Today I'm going to make sauerkraut in my new pickling jar that I made. And here I've got one small head of cabbage and one large carrot. I put a carrot in there mainly for looks, mainly for color. And sauerkraut is easy. All you need is cabbage and salt, plus a jar to pickle them in, or a pickling crock. So what I've got here, this is pure sea salt, so it has no, it's not iodized. I can't understand why salt is iodized to the extent that it is, but they even in the Philippines anyway, most of the sea salt I've seen has been iodized. But anyway, I'm going to sprinkle some salt on here. I'm going to mix it around, and I'm going to sprinkle more. I'm going to do that 2 or 3 times. And you want a fair amount of salt on there, but you don't want to overdo it either. And there's no exact measurement. But what will happen is that salt gets on there and it begins to draw out the water that's in the vegetables, the cabbage in this case. So I think that's enough probably. So I'm going to let this sit just for a little while. It's been about 6 or 8 minutes. And I mixed it around with my hand a couple of times, and you can probably notice that the volume is much smaller than it used to be. And it'll continue to shrink. But I'm going to start putting it in my jar. In case you're wondering what that noise is, that's a fish vendor, a fishmonger, and they travel around on motorcycles here with a loudspeaker announcing what they have for sale. And I can't imagine that's an easy way to make a living. Or that it really, or they can make much money doing it. But anyway, we continue on here. Just put this in. But not a lot. So I got it all in here, and this is some of the water that came out of the vegetables. So I got that in there. Now you want to pack it down, and it'll continue to draw that water out. Ultimately, what you want is the vegetables to be submerged in brine, and if enough water is not created by just putting the salt on there, I'll put a little water so that it's submerged. So it looks like I don't have to put any water. Now I have this one cabbage leaf from the outside of the cabbage that I kind of saved out, and I'm going to put it on top because I don't want any of the the cabbage to be above the water level. It's all got to be below the level of the brine. It's not actually water, it's brine. Okay, now in order to keep this below the surface of the brine, I'm using this to weight it down. That's a jar lid that I had here that fits through the top here, and I put a stone in it, which I washed off that stone and also boiled it to make sure that it didn't have anything funky on it. Forgot to do one thing. This airlock needs to be partly filled with water. There's a fill line right here. So I'll fill it up to the fill line. It's a little over, but that's okay. Now, CO2 that's created by this process, lactofermentation, will escape, but air cannot get in. So it's now been 11 days since I started making the sauerkraut, and that's a sort of a minimum amount of time that I'd recommend people do it for. But in order to make this video, I'm going to now stop it from fermenting anymore, or call it finished anyway. And first thing I'm going to do is take this out so that I don't spill the water that's in here. Sniff it, and it smells like sauerkraut. I'll take this out, and I'll take this leaf out that I had in there to hold everything down below the surface of the brine. I'm going to transfer it into here. Now, I probably could have used this smaller container to make it. Just take the top off of here and put it on here and use this, but I didn't do that. I didn't think of it at the time. But so I'll put this in the refrigerator. I'm going to taste this. I think I used a little too much salt when I made this, but it's still acceptable. Anyway, thanks for watching my video.